In a colorful daycare center in the heart of Oakland, the morning was filled with the usual buzz: blocks tumbling, tiny feet running, and giggles echoing through bright halls. Ms. Carla, the director, moved from room to room, helping toddlers build towers and settle disputes over crayons. Outside, a spring breeze swept over the playground, carrying the promise of a beautiful day. For the staff at Little Sprouts Daycare, every child was a world of imagination. There was Lily, who insisted her teddy bear was a superhero, and Marcus, whose favorite game was making everyone laugh with silly songs. Music was always in the background, a steady rhythm that made even cleanup time feel like a dance. Ms. Carla prided herself on creating a safe, happy space. The parents, mostly working-class families from the neighborhood, trusted her with their children, knowing they would spend their days surrounded by care and creativity. What nobody knew was that this ordinary day would soon become extraordinary. Earlier that week, Ms. Carla had received a mysterious email from a local nonprofit, asking if Little Sprouts would be interested in hosting a surprise guest for the children. The only clue was a playful signature: a friend who loves music and making kids smile. Curious, Ms. Carla agreed, arranging for a film crew from the nonprofit to visit, and promising to keep the surprise a secret from the staff and kids. On the day of the visit, she dressed in her brightest outfit, buzzing with anticipation. Around mid-morning, the doorbell rang. Ms. Carla hurried to the entrance and found a cheerful team of videographers, and behind them, grinning and unmistakably tall, stood Snoop Dogg himself. Dressed in a casual tracksuit and sneakers, he waved. "Ready to meet some little legends?" he asked. Miss Carla almost dropped her clipboard. "Are you serious?" she whispered, then composed herself. "The kids are going to lose their minds." Snoop Dogg was famous everywhere, but in Oakland, he was a legend. His music played at family reunions and basketball games, and even parents at Little Sprouts had grown up on his tracks. Ms. Carla ushered him inside, still hardly believing what was happening. The plan was simple. Snoop would spend an hour with the children, reading stories, playing, and maybe singing a few songs. The cameras would capture it all, sharing a message of joy and community. Ms. Carla gathered the children in the story corner, telling them a very special friend was here to play. When Snoop Dogg walked in, a few jaws dropped. One little boy blurted, "Are you a giant?" While a girl in pigtails just waved shyly. Snoop knelt down, smiling warmly. "Not a giant, just a big friend." The room erupted in giggles. Nobody could have predicted how much fun was about to unfold, or that the world would soon be watching. Snoop started by reading a picture book, using silly voices for each character. The kids crowded close, mesmerized by the famous visitor who was making even the shyest among them laugh out loud. Every page turn brought new sound effects: growling bears, squeaky mice, and even a spot-on impression of a snoring dragon. When the book ended, Snoop set it aside and asked, "Who wants to sing?" Dozens of tiny hands shot up. Ms. Carla quickly brought out a basket of toy instruments: maracas, tambourines, and a small keyboard. "Let's start a band," Snoop cheered. The children gathered around, and Snoop led them in a playful version of "If You're Happy and You Know It." He added his own spin, funny rhymes, dance breaks, and the occasional faux shizzle that sent the staff into fits of laughter. The kids sang at the top of their lungs, shaking maracas and stomping their feet. The room was a whirlwind of sound, joy, and movement. Snoop improvised verses about dinosaurs, snacks, and even a runaway sock puppet that became an instant hit. At one point, Snoop picked up a tambourine and broke out into a goofy freestyle rap about nap time and sharing snacks. The children collapsed in laughter, their giggles filling the room and spilling out into the hallway. The teachers laughed just as hard, grateful for a moment of pure, unscripted happiness. The videographers captured everything, amazed at how naturally Snoop connected with the children. He high-fived kids, let them style his hair with imaginary braids, and patiently answered questions like, "Why are you so tall?" and "Do you like dinosaurs or sharks better?" As the music continued, one little girl climbed onto Snoop's lap and asked if he would sing her favorite lullaby. He did, softly and sweetly, the room growing quiet as the kids listened. The laughter returned moments later when Snoop began a silly dance, wiggling his arms and legs in a way that made everyone, even the quietest kids, burst into giggles. The end of the hour, it was clear this wasn't just a celebrity visit. It was a moment of connection, kindness, and real fun. And as the children waved goodbye, the daycare staff knew they'd never forget what they'd witnessed that morning. After Snoop Dogg left, the children talked about his visit for days. They sang his silly nap-time rap, pretended to play concerts during recess, and drew pictures of Snoop reading stories and dancing. Ms. Carla kept her promise, sharing photos and videos with parents, who were nearly as giddy as their kids. "I can't believe my son sang with Snoop Dogg," one mom texted, sending back a video of her little one doing the signature faux shizzle arm wave. The nonprofit's film crew edited the footage into a short, heartwarming video. Set to a playful soundtrack, it showed Snoop rapping about sharing, helping tie shoelaces, and being crowned king of the playground by a circle of giggling children. The video was posted to YouTube and quickly took off. Comments poured in from all over the world: parents, teachers, music fans, and even celebrities, all charmed by the genuine joy in every frame. Within days, Snoop Dogg at Daycare became the most watched and most shared video on YouTube's trending page. Late-night hosts shared clips, calling it the feel-good story we all needed. News outlets praised Snoop's kindness and the daycare's joyful spirit. Little Sprouts received calls from national media, and Ms. Carla gave interviews about the importance of music, play, and community. She was humble about the attention, but grateful that so many people saw the value in everyday happiness. For the kids, life returned to normal, but a little brighter. Parents noticed their children's newfound confidence and sense of belonging. Several new families enrolled at Little Sprouts, wanting to be part of such a loving community. Snoop's visit became legendary. Children asked every week if the tall friend would be coming back, and teachers incorporated more music and silly dancing into the daily routine. Ms. Carla realized that one unexpected guest had reminded everyone, grown-ups and children alike, that laughter and love are the best parts of any day. Months after Snoop's visit, the daycare continued to thrive. The mural outside was updated to include a cartoon of Snoop Dogg surrounded by dancing kids, a symbol of the magic that had touched everyone. The video's success brought new resources and donations, allowing Ms. Carla to expand music and art programs. She hired a part-time music teacher, bought new instruments, and even started a YouTube channel to share moments from daily life at Little Sprouts. Snoop Dogg stayed in touch, sending autographed posters, books, and holiday gifts for the children. He even recorded a special birthday message for one of the students, who played it at every family gathering. The sense of community grew. Parents organized playdates, staff hosted family nights, and former students returned to visit. The laughter that started with a single visit kept echoing through the halls, year after year. Ms. Carla looked back on the day Snoop arrived with gratitude. His warmth and playfulness had shown the children and the world that celebrities could be caring, generous, and down to earth. But most of all, he'd reminded everyone that the best moments don't need to be planned or perfect. Sometimes, all it takes is a song, a dance, and a room full of laughter to create memories that last forever. And as the children of Little Sprouts grew older, they carried with them the lesson that joy, music, and kindness could change the world. One giggle at a time.